night, which means that perhaps you might want to donate some money to the VITO project, because although the screening is free, we do encourage everyone to donate around about a $5 if you can, more or less, you know. If you're feeling more generous, don't fight it. But on the other hand, if you're really, really skinned, then, you know, we understand that as well. And if everybody kind of more or less gives a $5, it means that we can keep doing these kinds of things, because we have to pay to show the film, and we have to pay the rent here, and every screening our costs are about £500. So if you're able to help us meet those costs, that would be fantastic. The VITO project are also looking for volunteers to come up with creative suggestions and funding ideas for VITO project. So if you'd like to participate and help them, please do get in touch. So, right. Okay, now I'm gonna introduce our guests. Pardon me. It's like that John Waters interview all over again. Honestly. Okay, so I'm gonna give them a big entrance, because I love a big entrance. Who doesn't love a big entrance? Ben Walters is a critic, a programmer, and a filmmaker with a particular interest in cabaret, moving image, queer, and DIY culture. If you don't know Ben's blog already, you can read it at nottelevision.net. Ben's also involved in several campaigns addressing the current threat to London's queer spaces. Ben and I serve on the RVT Future campaign committee together. And he is also doing a PhD at Queen Mary about Ducky and queer fun. So he is our Ducky doctor. And our second guest is Stuart Feather, who is a queer activist, a member of the Gay Liberation Front circa 1970. He's a performer with Blue Lips, the author of a recently published 0 books, Blowing the Lid, Gay Liberation, Sexual Revolution, and Radical Queens. So please put your hands together and welcome on stage Ben and Stuart. Ooh, great to be filling in your sandwich tonight. Okay, so where do we start with this film? I mean, first of all, how much do I want Divine's wardrobe for a start? But maybe, Ben, you could put us in a place, maybe put Polyester in the context of John Waters' other films.
Right, well, yes. Can you hear me? Is this okay? Yeah, so as you said at the beginning, Polyester is 1981, and it's a bit of a fulcrum, a bit of a turning point for John Waters. So he's already really kind of established himself with Multiple Maniacs, with Pink Flamingos, Desperate Living, with, you know, the real kind of hardcore poke of trash kind of, you know, the midnight movie shock stuff. And so with Polyester, he's kind of doing something a bit different, and it's really interesting looking at Divine and the role that Divine plays as well. So Divine in those earlier movies is this, you know, force of nature and this kind of just outrageous, transgressive, unstoppable kind of queer monster who's, you know, devouring the world. And it comes to Polyester, and for both of them it's something kind of a bit different. So for John Waters, it's this sort of move slightly towards the mainstream, slightly, like you said, it's R-rated rather than X-rated. But the way that he's using Divine is really interesting as well, that it's, you know, suddenly she's this kind of passive character. She's, you know, she's put upon. She wants so much to be normal. She wants, you know, the all-American sort of lifestyle. And there's an element of that with the movie as well, that's kind of John Waters dipping his toe into a kind of mainstream filmmaking sort of thing. So it has this, yeah, it's and it definitely leads on to things like Hairspray, Cry Baby, and those other ones which turn out to have this bizarre, unexpected, genuine sort of crossover.
Stuart, what did you make of Divine's performance in this? Because you're right, it is a bit different from eating dog shit off the street to, you know, sort of wanting to be the all-American perfect mom?
Well, I thought she was really great. And I know, gathered that she was a real fan of, oh, no, the name's come out of my mind, the great Elizabeth Taylor. And she really, I thought, really could carry it off. And so that was kind of, you know, a take on Elizabeth Taylor, I suppose, when she was rather fat, and there was Divine sort of doing her version of it. So, yeah, I thought she did, I thought the whole parody worked really well.
Yeah, there were moments there where I thought, oh, she just looks exactly like Elizabeth Taylor. It's quite amazing how Divine's able to challenge that, channel that, not just in the look, but also in the kind of presentation and the spirit of Elizabeth Taylor, kind of that desperation, you know.
Well, that's it, and then the performance as well, because it's actually, you know, it's just a great performance as an actor, and I think that's another way that it's kind of a turning point for Divine, that I think she was getting a little bit tired of just being, you know, outrageous and scandalous, and this was a real chance to actually, you know, properly inhabit a character, and, you know, this poor Francine, poor Francine, the way that, you know, the little bits of business, chewing her thumb and all that kind of thing, you know, it's a really fleshed out character.
Now, in terms of the place of Polyester in sort of trash cinema, I mean, John Waters loved trash cinema himself, and you can see his love of trash cinema being, I mean, those slow motion bits in this film, and you just think, oh my gosh, it's just like, you know, bits from Love Story, or kind of all the schlock, trashy Mills and Boon style novels kind of come alive. What did you see in it, Stuart, that piqued your interest in terms of it reflecting that trash cinema culture?
Well, I'm not so up on trash cinema culture, actually. But I thought it, you know, it really held up, and I thought it was a great parody of, well, I know it was 80s, but it was kind of also 60s America, wasn't it? And that whole consumerism and the unhappy housewives and the desperate kind of situation they were in at the time. What I was also thinking of was, I can't think of the damn movie, but it was the English one with Brian, God, what's it? Sorry? No, not Separate Wives. No, not the Stepford Wives. It was, well, that actually crossed my mind because of the whole sort of trying to be perfect kind of character. And I mean, one of the great lines in it, which I thought got a bit muffled in the delivery, was the line at the end of the movie where they're all reconciled, and she says, "It's so hard to be moral."
There were some great one-liners as well. Do you have any favourites that stuck out?
Well, my favourite scene of all is the black chorister lady hijacking the bus and biting the tire to puncture it. And I saw the director's, John Waters' comment on that, and apparently she bit so hard she lost a tooth. And her face was all covered in blood, but you couldn't see it because she had to back to the camera. And of course his comment was, "I just know she was a great method actress."
Were there any phrases, catchphrases, lines that stood out for you?
I mean, I think one of my favourite scenes is the little picnic scene, and Puddles. I mean, I can't get enough of Puddles. What's her line? Something like, "You see, Francine, you know, everything is so beautiful, there must be a God."
My favourite is when they're in the, she's trying on all the dresses, and she goes, "Look, it's a Halston, how au Quran." It became a bit of a contrast to me in all of my friends when we were teenagers. How over.
But I think kind of, I mean, it's a 1981 film, but I think John Walter just like nails the 80s, like right at the outset of the decade, with things like that, you know, that real kind of, that sort of upward mobility aspect of it, the return of the 50s, coming back in such a big way in the 80s, which he sort of does with the movie stuff as well, but there's a lot of Douglas Sirk in there, those kind of, you know, 50s women's pictures, the weepies, the sort of, you know, the housewife as this kind of, almost this sort of Catholic martyr figure, just being flayed and flayed and flayed for an hour and a half. And then also with the gimmicky stuff, the odorama, sort of harking back to this whole other side of kind of 50s Americana, these William Castle sort of gimmick movies of having, you know, the seats that tingle, the skeletons that come out the screen, that kind of sort of gimmick thing.
There were also so many markers that just said, you know, the secretary and her Bo Derek hair. You know, the daughter and her skin type. I mean, I remember girls wearing those in school in the 80s. Those really, really skin tight, satin type pants, you know? And reading Farrah's World, you know, her hairdo. I mean, it was exactly right. So there's no doubt where you were placed in a time frame. For you, Stuart, what did it reflect for you in the 80s? Because, you know, actually, outside of this film, there was a hell of a lot of interesting stuff going on.
Well, there sure were. I mean, Blue Lips, for one, when we got to New York, we played New York, well, it is a VITO story. In 1980, we were in Amsterdam to do a gig at the same time as the Amsterdam Lesbian and Gay Film Festival. And Vito Russo was there from the Village Voice in New York to review things. And he saw our show and he loved it, and he wrote a review, and the Village Voice published it, and that was just amazing because we had an American review without even being in the country.
Did you ever meet Divine?
No, I didn't meet Divine, but when she was staying here, she would...
she infamously came to London,
That's right, and she was staying with Sandra Rhodes, who lives not very far from where I do. And I had a friend who was a friend of Sandra Rhodes, so he told me, you know, that she had 6 Mars bars for breakfast every morning.
Girl's got to keep her figure. Now, there's so much more that we could talk about, but I want to open it up to the audience. I think there's a couple of things that we could touch on, but I'll let you kind of throw your 5 cents in as well. I think the issue of race is one that's really interesting, because for anyone who's ever been to Baltimore, anybody been to Baltimore? Me, you, me. Okay. It's a very racially diverse city, but it also can be very racially segregated. And I find it fascinating to see how white people and black people interact in this film. So maybe somebody wants to pose a question about that. Maybe somebody wants to pose a question about John Waters and his script writing and directorial style or whatever. But the floor is open to you now. So we've got some microphones somewhere. There we go. Has anybody got a question or a statement? Yeah, just here. Just tap in the red shirt. Oh, sorry. There's a microphone just there for you.
I often wondered every time I dipped into friends, did any of them ever have a black friend? So why? There's such a how can I put it? There's a presence of black people in there, and they have a rapport with white people that it seems normal to me. So, what do you think is the interaction between the different
At the moment, it's, well, I mean, I can't even like begin to kind of unravel that because it's so complicated. But what I see on screen here, and knowing Baltimore, and knowing the issues that a city like Baltimore has faced, is that I can see, from in my eyes only, I don't know, that John Waters seems to be really sending up a lot of this, you know, of a kind of white culture and a white trash culture, and that it's often, you know, we see in the film, there are not very many black people in the film, but the ones that do are kind of like getting revenge, saving the bus, doing the things that everybody wants to do, you know, in their heart of hearts. So I don't know, I find it interesting. I don't want to, you know, speak for you know, anybody who may see something else. But for me, I think it's interesting that John Waters grew up in a place that was very racially diverse, but also very racially segregated. I mean, for anybody who's seen Hairspray, that's the whole theme of the film. And, you know, he's really questioning that. Whether he does that effectively in this film, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah.
I think what's interesting about Polyester is the way that the kind of, that, you know, there's, I mean, most of the characters on screen obviously are white, but the way that when there is interaction between white characters and black characters, there's just a kind of sort of nonchalance to it. It seems to me to be quite sort of distributed. So you've got the, you know, the woman with
well, the black people are calling the white people out on their idiocy, which I think is quite interesting.
Well, yeah, but then at the end you've got the, you know, the sort of tap hunter's mate who, you know, just seems to be another nasty piece of work, but at the same time that's, you know, who's sort of quite happy to help him out with his nefarious deal. But the fact that they're like an interracial friendship just goes without comment.
Do we have anyone else in the audience who'd like to comment on this? Who sees Chardine? I know you have something to say about this.
Actually, I really think it's dealt with quite well. I'm a huge John Waters fan, so I'm probably going to be biased anyway, and I have met him as well. But I think in Hairspray, it's actually done really well. But what's interesting in this film, what I really like about what he does when working with characters from other races, is that he doesn't have them as a kind of like a somber character. They're just as silly as everyone else as well, and that's what makes that bit funny as well, because he kind of leads you, you're like, oh, they're kind of hitting like these people from ethnic minorities with brooms, but then he makes it really hilariously funny with the bus scene, which is absolutely